Welcome to my channel. This is tutorial on Python Pandas. In today's tutorial, I will be explaining what is Python Pandas series, and how to create the series and how to access the data from the Pandas series. How to create Pandas series? A Pandas series, it can be viewed as a one-dimensional array, and the data structure, it can hold any data type like strings, integers, floats, and even Python objects. So Pandas series can be created using the following constructor. It takes the form pandas dot series. You observe here the S is in capital, and within the curve bracket the arguments are data, index, d type, and copy. So the data refers to the data. It takes the various forms like ND array, list, or constant, and index refers to the values which are unique and hashable, and they must be of same length as that of data. If the data is of size 4, the index also has to be of size 4. If you don't specify the index, by default it takes it as np.arrange n. That means np.arrange n will arrange the numbers from 0 up to n, like 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So if the index is not specified, the index will be 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So let us see what is this unique and hashable means. A unique means each index must be unique in nature, no two index be same, and hashable means any immutable object like integer, boolean, string, tuple, etc. is hashable, meaning that their values does not change during its lifetime. So this will allow Python to create a unique hash value to identify it, and it can be used by the dictionaries to track the key values, or set the track unique values. Okay, that is about the index. Next, coming to the third argument, which is d type. This is for the data type. If nothing is specified for data type, it will be inferred. That is, looking into the data, it will be taken as either integer, float, or string. If it is specified, then it will convert it to the same and take it. Then the fourth argument is copy data. By default, this copy will be false. If it is true, what happens is a set of memory is allocated which is same as that of the series that we pass, and any changes that are made in the second set will not be reflected in the original set of series. So by default, this will be false, and if you want to make a copy of it and make changes, make this copy is equal to true. So how to create a series? So we can create it in many ways. One is by passing an array, or by passing a dictionary, or passing scalar value or constant. Let us see how to do it, moving on to the Jupyter notebook. Let us start with creating an empty series. So before we start using pandas, we must import pandas. So import pandas as PD. PD is the short form for pandas. So let me create a series S, which is equal to pd.series, and the empty series is represented by this empty cell, and the data type is 64. Suppose if I don't give this data type, so this results in a warning message. Let me explain that. Let me remove this data type and run this print yes. So if I run this cell, this creates an empty series of float 64, and there is a warning message here. To suppress this message, you explicitly define a data type here. So it can be anything. So you just define a data type. Data type is equal to. Now I'll give it as int 64 and run this. Now you see that an empty series is created with int64 data type, and that warning message has been suppressed. So another way of creating series is by means of ND array. So create a series from ND array. So in order to use this ND array, I have to call for numpy library. So import numpy as np and give the data as np.array. Here I am taking the array as 4 strings ABCD, string data, and that data forms the data for this series. Next, form the Pandas series yes is equal to pt.series. Make use of that data to form this Pandas series and print yes. Let us see what happens. Now, the Pandas series is having the data ABCD, but it is indexed by default by taking np.arrange n. That is, it has arranged the integers from 0 to 3 to index the data ABCD, and the data type is an object, Python object. So you see here, since we did not pass any index here, it has assigned the indexes arranging 0 to length of data minus 1. Here the length of data is 4, minus 1, 3 is the highest index of this series. Okay. So now let us explicitly define the index also. So with the same data of 4 strings ABCD, let me form a series yes, which is pd.series, and then the data, which is the data that I have given here, which is np.array, then index it with the new numbers 100, 101, 102, and 103. Now let me print this series. Now you see here, instead of the default integers 0, 1, 2, 3, I have defined the new indexes 100, 101, 2, and 3 as A, B, C, D here, and the new Pandas series is A, B, C, D with indexes like this. So this is how we create a Pandas series using NDR. Now let us also create it using a dictionary. So let me take the data as a dictionary of 4 elements, 3 elements 0, 1 and 2. All 3 are float numbers with the dictionary keys represented by the strings A, B and C respectively. See, string A is the index for the data 0.0 and string B is the index for the data 1.0 and C is for the data 2.0. So with this dictionary data, I form the Pandas series yes is equal to pt.series and take that data, print yes. Let us see what happens. So now I have the indexes represented by ABC and the data is 0, 0.0, 1.0 and 2.0 and the data type is float 64. So this is the way we create the series from dictionary, and we can change the order of the index by defining the index. Index is equal to, so instead of ABC, define the index as, say here I have defined it as BCDA. Now B contains 1, so that will come first, and C contains 2, that will come next, and D is not there, see what happens, then A contains 0. In place of D, let us see what we get. So B is 1, C is 2 and A is 0, and D is a keyword which is not present in the data dictionary that I have given here. So it has taken a not a number NaN in place of D. Okay, so now you see the order of the index and the order of the data that is given. So this is how it changes the index. Accordingly, the data will be given as per the index that we give. Now let us create a series from a scalar. So I have given the scalar 5 with index 0, 1, 2, 3, that is 4 elements in the series with the same value 5 as the series yes, Pandas series. Let me print that. So now you see here the indexes 0, 1, 2, 3 all contain the data 5, 5, 5. Okay, that is how we form the Pandas series using a scalar. Next, let us see how to access the data from the series by making use of the position. Now we have the series, let us say that S is equal to pt.series formed out of the data given by this series 1, 8, 3, 4, 5 with the index given by the strings A, B, C, D and E. So there are 5 data points and 5 indexes, and let me retrieve the data corresponding to the corresponding to the element. So this is the first one. So let me first run this. So the first element, that is 0, 1, the S of 1 is the second element, that is 8. So instead I'll just give this. Let me see what happens. So indexed by A, the data that is indexed by A is 1. So that has taken printed as 1. So instead of A, if I give it as D, what I must get? I must get 4. So this is how we access the data with the position, with the index. Instead, we can even give the position also instead of this. So this is the 0th position, 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose if I give 4, I must get 5 in the 4th position. Okay, so we can access it using the position and also the index. Now let us see how we can access multiple elements using the position. So suppose I want to access first 3 elements 0, 1, 2. So give the notation within the square bracket uh, colon 3. 3 is the highest index. 3 minus 1, up to that it will access and print it. So 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 9 will be printed in this series. And those are having indexes A, B, C, 1 to 9. That is how we access multiple elements using the index, the last 3 elements of the series. See, when we index the series elements from the last one, so this is going to be minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. So if I want to access the last 3 elements, this is 3, 4, 5. So I must give from which point up to the last point I must access. So it is minus 3, minus 2 and minus 1. So print minus 3 comma will access 3, 4, 5. Okay. Suppose if I make it minus 4, I'll get 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how we access the last elements starting from the index that is given up to the last element. How we can do that by using index also, that I have demonstrated here. A single element, say indexed by E, is the element data 5 that is indexed, and multiple also can be multiple elements can be accessed by using multiple index labels. Say suppose A, C, D. Corresponding to A I have 10, corresponding to C I have 35, and corresponding to D I have 44. So I must get the values 10, 35 and 44 by, this is how we access the values by using index label values. Suppose if the index label that I specified to access it is not present, then what happens? Then an exception is raised. So here I have the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and index A, B, C, D, E. Suppose if I give an index which is not present here, F. So corresponding to F index, there is no data and the F is also not present. So when I run this, this gives a key error. So key error is F. So that means F is not present in the index. So this is how we create Python Pandas series and access the various elements from the series by making use of labels by making use of the position. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe to my channel.